my name is Cece, and on behalf of Scrapbooks on Toile, welcome to another One Take Friday. Today I'm creating a 5x7 canvas with a lot of texture. A 5x7 canvas, a Donna Downey foam stamp number 921125 by Prima, the Time to Laugh Flowers stamp set number IB-501 by Unity Stamp, light molding paste, palette knife or an old gift card, Heidi Swapp's navy color shine spray, some acrylic paints. I have white by Claudine Helmet Studio, and I have those three paint dabbers, citrus, pitch black, and wild plum, jet black archival ink, a black gel pen, a black pastel pencil or charcoal pencil, as well as a flat paintbrush, and your craft mat. So for today's project, I'm repurposing a canvas that I've covered up with gesso, and as you can see, I still have some colors showing through, but that's okay. And this is light molding paste. So I'm attempting something new today. Hopefully it'll work. And I'm going to put a coat of that, and I'm going to try and act really quickly. My coat is, it's not too thin, but it's not too thick. I know it's kind of, it's not a precise instruction, but I want to have enough down so that I get an impression, because we're going to stamp over that. So let me see, I'm going to use this gift card just to even everything out, although I am not looking for something extremely even, and I kind of like some of the areas that are uneven, and I'm going to do two impressions. I'm going to do one here, and I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to do a second one. Maybe a little bit here at the bottom. I'm going to try and not go as deep as the previous one. Now, this is a little bit tricky, but bear with me. Alright, so we've got kind of like the same texture as the foam stamp. So we have an impression of two flowers here. I'm just going to scrape the sides here. And I'm going to go wash my stamp right away. Okay, so as you can see, I have some of the original colors peeking through the light molding paste, but that's okay. I'm going to work with that. Of course, if you're going to do this at home, you would have a fresh canvas and you wouldn't have that problem. But just to show you that you can still use that, or you can still go with it. Now the imprint that was left by the foam stamp kind of like suctioned everything out, and it left me with some nice designs within the shape, and I really like that. So that's not what I had in mind. I prefer this though. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to do some more stamping and some spritzing, and yeah. Alright, so my canvas is dry. I helped it a little bit with a heat tool. In some areas I can feel that it's still damp, but that's probably because I have paint and gesso underneath there. I was just thinking, if you want to kind of reproduce that effect, meaning, you know, have some paint showing through, go ahead and before you actually start your work, paint your gesso with 2 tones of green or whatever color you feel like, and then gesso and put some white paint to try and cover it up as much as possible. I kind of like the effect that it gives, so maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, it's a One Take Friday, and I'm just going with the flow. Alright, so I've got the blue Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I'm going to spray this over the light molding paste, and I have a feeling that it's going to absorb really well. So I'm hoping that it'll give the effect that I want. And let's see, I'm just going to go with the whole, oh yeah. Oh, I like that. I love the navy effect. We've lost some of the shine. I mean, there is some peeking through, and most of the color has been absorbed by the light molding paste. But like I said at the beginning, it is an experiment, but I quite like the way it turned out. We still have a shine, depending on how we look at it when we move it. And it's kind of neat. I love those white spots. I have no idea how that came about. Maybe it's some of the white paint that transpired through the light molding paste. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. Next, I want to stamp this, the same stamp, but with acrylic paint. So I'm going to take my two paint daubers. I've got Wild Plum and Citrus. So I'm just going to put a bit of that paint on my mat. This is not going to give me a perfect impression because I have some texture here at the bottom, but it will all work out. And it didn't. Let me see if I can redo this. Okay, maybe I need to press right here. Much better. So if I really want to finish this off properly, I'm just going to paint over this. Now that I have the outline, it's pretty easy to do so. Look how fun it is with this in the background. Oh, I just love that. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit. I took the leftover green that I had on the mat, and I'm just going around, oops, the edges a little bit. And maybe on some of these raised areas. I'm not sure I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not sure I'm going to leave that green there, but for now, I don't know. There was something that I wanted to do. Not sure about it. Oh, look at that. By wetting the surface, it darkens it. See this? I'm kind of lifting or making the color shine resurface. Isn't that interesting? Ah, the things we discover. Oh, I like that. Interesting. All right, I'm going to keep on working on this. Okay, so I went ahead and stamped the sentiment at the bottom here, but I don't like the way it turned out. But before I do anything about it, I'm going to add some black charcoal around the flower. I'm going to add a shadow just so that it pops. I don't need to do a lot to it, but just a little bit. Now I'm doing this over a surface that is kind of spongy. The light molding paste is very spongy actually. So it doesn't have the same effect that you would find on paper. Okay, so that is done. I'm gonna give you a close-up. Just adds a little bit of definition, like I said. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I wanna add some white. Okay, so I tried to remove the black ink with a wet baby wipe, but as you can see, that did not work. Now I'm going to restamp the sentiment. For this I'm using Jet Black Archival ink. Alright, so right now I decided to add a little bit of green. Now I'm going to add a bit of white paint on my mat, and I have a very small stylus, or use anything that you have that's tiny. Even a lead pencil I'm sure would work, and I'm just going to add some dots on the background. Okay, it's missing something. I have a black gel pen. You can use any black permanent marker. Just gonna make a few lines underneath the sentiment just to highlight it, because I think it kind of was lost, and also ties everything together. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to do the sides with the black Adirondack paint dauber, and I'm going to take advantage of the black to just bring it a little bit over the edges, ever so slightly. That's also going to tie in our sentiment perfectly. There we go. Ah, yes. Ooh, I love how this turned out. I call this my flower in the snow. It looks like a flower that grew in the wintertime when it's not supposed to. I like the background. I really, really like how this thing turned out on the light molding paste. It's quite a surprise. I thought it would be shiny, but I love the effect. Love the texture paste. So in essence what I did is I actually covered the canvas with texture paste and then made imprints with a foam stamp. And again, that was another happy surprise. I thought I would get a nice clean impression, but there was too much suction, like the foam stamp was grabbing onto the light molding paste and was creating a lot of texture, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I love mini projects like this. These are the perfect kind of projects to do on a Saturday afternoon when, you know, you feel like being creative, but you don't want to take on too much of a big project. This is perfect. So that is it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this. As usual, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will be back on Tuesday.